Dude, Brad, how was your cabin trip?
The cabin went really well, man. It was a good time. We went out there. It was up in the woods. There was a cabin in the woods, and I went down there. It was a pretty big place, a couple of bedrooms. And then we went downstairs at one point, and
Where your
we had to
room
open
is,
up.
right?
What's that?
Where your room is, right?
Yeah, where the room. I mean, I try to stay out of the basement for the most part, but this time it was so appealing, and I opened the little hatch to go down there. I went climbing down the little stairs, and I went down in there. It was cool, and there's this really cool setup, dude. There were squirrels hanging from the ceiling in the air, and all kinds of weird shit. And then there was this book down there. It was in a black garbage bag, like the kind you would see, like a hefty bag, a
Hmm.
black one, and it had barbed wire around it. It was really interesting. It was very cool.
Hmm.
And I was like, "What
Don't
the
you think
hell?"
that's kind of sounded like a little dangerous?
No, 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 no. It looked like something somebody was trying to throw away. They put it in the black garbage bag, and then they put some barbed wire around there. And I was like,
Okay.
"Well, what's in this bag?" So I went ahead and I took the cutters and I started cutting open the barbed wire and stuff, and I opened it up, and it turns out it was actually a book in there, a booklet, a book. And again, it's kind of similar to your situation, but of course it wasn't at the library, so I thought it was gonna be fine. It was a book. There was human flesh on the outside, and then on the inside, I mean, it was just kind of red lettering and stuff like that. So I thought it was
Please
pretty.
tell me you did not read anything from that book.
Well, yeah, of course I did. I mean, once I got it opened up, I went through a lot of trouble to get it opened up. So I figured I might as well at least read it. I mean, it wasn't like a situation where you're going to skip reading it because you went through a lot of trouble to get it open. It was fine. It was a good time.
Dude, did you not learn anything from me?
Yeah, I learned to open the books, and there's no
Mm-mm.
problems. I mean, it's a good book, and I really
You are all going to die tonight.
Yeah, nope, I already know where this is going. I'm getting out here. Peace, dude. Peace with love.
Wait, Brett, I was just messing with you. I remember we did the thing a couple weeks ago where, yeah, I'm joking. I'm joshing you. I'm joshing you. You can come back now. Where'd you go? Guy can't take a joke.
They're here.
What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Real Hunting, where we have Good Real Hunting 2020 going on at the moment. Just remember, we hunt for the good reels, so you don't have to. Good Real Hunting's been a great time so far. We got several of horror videos out that we've been doing, so be sure to check those out. And if you're new to the channel, just to see some of this other stuff we've been doing, it's been awesome stuff. But today we're doing the Evil Dead remake, the 2013 version of Evil Dead, as a part of our Evil Dead franchise review series. So we're going to get into the review of Evil Dead 2013, directed by Fede Alvarez. And Brett, you want to get us into the cast on that movie?
Yeah, absolutely, Brad. I would easily get into the cast, which the cast in this movie, which it's different this time around, but again, it's a remake, so it's supposed to be different. Starring in this movie is Jang Levy, Shiloh Fernandez, Lou Taylor Pucci, Jessica Lucas, and Elizabeth Blackmore.
Okay, so Evil Dead 2013. So what this movie's about is a group of friends. They go out to a remote cabin in the woods again. Good title. So they go out to the cabin in the woods to help their buddy quit cocaine. Essentially, is what they're doing. They're trying to go out there
Yeah,
and get the cold
Mia.
turkey. Yeah, Mia. They're trying to help her get out there and to get the cold turkey done. So they go out to a remote location where there's no cocaine within sight, and she chucks it in the whale. And they just try to use the remote isolation as a means of getting the cold turkey, and that's pretty much your boy finds the book from the classic movie in the basement, and weird shit starts to happen, man. That's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Yeah, Eric
Um,
didn't learn from either of us.
Absolutely not. He should have watched these videos and subscribed to the channel, but he did not. So here we are, and he finds another book again. He reads it, he opens it up, and he said the words in the book, and then, again, here comes the Deadites. So starting off, what do you think? What do you like about it?
Immediately, what I liked about it was the cinematography was just absolutely stunning. Like just to create the creepy atmosphere, like for in the woods in the cabin, which again I would think that the budget was just like off the roofs in this movie for the remake. So it's supposed to be that, and I feel like they did not disappoint in that factor. And that and their transformation into the Deadites, like when the characters transform into those Deadites, it looked absolutely like great. And I was just a fan, like, and as I said in the other videos too, I like my Evil Dead to be serious, and gosh almighty, this movie went very, very serious and very, very dark, and I absolutely loved it.
It did. Right, you are, Cotton. So, kind of piggybacking off what you said there, the cinematography I really liked. I thought it did a really good job of setting up an atmosphere, and with that, it was gloomy. It was a gloomy atmosphere. You had the fog in there, heavy rain throughout the movie. I really dug that. I thought that was really cool. The fog presence was really good. When you get out there, anytime they go outside, it's just gloomy and foggy and rainy.
It
I
makes you
like
feel really uncomfortable.
very, very, very much so. I really like that. Uh, and I like, as opposed to the OG movie here, I like the reason they're out there. It's not just a vacation in the woods. They have a reason and a purpose for being there, and that's helping their buddy out to get off the cocaine.
Hmm.
And they were out there doing that. I thought that was a cool to have more of a reason for people to stay once shit starts getting a little weird, and just to be out there in general. So I like that, and kind of goes into the setting I liked of the cabin in the woods. It's a classic setting. Um, you get also I like all that stuff. The music was pretty good. You had a lot of good suspenseful, eerie, weird music, especially with the piano stuff. I thought that was pretty
Hmm.
good.
Yeah, piano in the horror genre is always an excellent touch.
Yeah, piano is one of my favorites when it comes to the horror genre. And kind of like you said, I like the intensity of the movie, the tone they were going for. They were going no holds barred, freaking full out, all out intensity. It starts with the opening scene of the movie in the basement, with the girl getting tied up on the pillar, or she gets caught on fire and stuff. Like from there on out, like you
Hmm.
know it's an intense ass movie, and I felt yeah, I like that a lot. I also like the shots of Mia in the basement whenever she became possessed and got thrown down into the
Hmm.
basement, the cellar. I like the way she was lit and stuff. It was never a full on lighting really when she was down there. It
No,
was
it
kind of
was always dark, and
very,
that's what it
yeah,
is. Because again, it matches the tone. This is a dark movie, so I don't want bright colors and all that. I want just dark and gloomy colors.
yeah. You never really saw her full on. Like it was kind of a creepy kind of shot, and she was down there and it was kind of halfly lit and stuff. And I thought that was her best shots of the movie, even prior to being possessed. I thought she did really well there in the basement, and the shots that came with that I really liked. And other than that, it's just the throwbacks. Like there's a lot of good throwbacks to the OG. You get the car there in the Ash's car, the yellow car, and then you get like when the blonde girl's hand gets bit. It's like a throwback to Evil Dead 2, which is
Hmm.
cool. It starts getting infected and stuff. She chops it off with the thing, the saw.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
Natalie, which
yes,
is I
Natalie. Yeah,
believe is David's girlfriend.
that's correct. That's correct.
Which also, if y'all didn't know, David is the brother of Mia, our main character that's trying to get through the recovery of the drugs, and that Olivia has like a little bit of a kind of like a medical background too, so she knows how to take care of Mia as what she's going through.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. And I thought that it was a nice throwback. And there's several little small callbacks to the original trilogy in there that I liked. But overall, that I mean, that's my positives from the movie. Do you have anything else positive wise?
Yeah, as you said, I love kind of like the little throwbacks, but they didn't like heavily rely on those callbacks to make their movie successful. They just wanted to tell their own and unique story, which for a remake, and that's the problem with the other remakes, like too, is the remakes just rely so heavily on the other movies, so they can gain a new audience. But this one kind of around, it's like if the other Evil Dead movies never existed, and that this Evil Dead from 2013 came out, it would be a humongous success, and just in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it was good overall with all that stuff for sure. Um,
Yeah,
well,
and the practical effects for like there's this one scene where dead-eyed Mia was cutting her tongue with like box cutters, and that scene freaked me out. But again, just the effects on that, and just the presentation of all those like those deaths and those injuries. Oh my gosh, excellent.
The effects were good. They were very good. I really dug the effects overall. I thought they were solid. But that brings me into the negatives of the movie. What do you want me to go first? You want to go first? What do you?
Yeah, go right ahead. I don't have much.
You don't have a lot? Okay. So I do actually. I have my fair share of negatives for the movie. Overall, I had a good time with it. But we'll just start off with the acting overall. I thought was atrocious, pretty much all the way around. Even Mia, who Jane Levy, I think, like I said, her best shots were when she was possessed down in the basement. I thought she did a really good job there. But there's parts there at the beginning where I thought she was overacting a bit and getting a little weird. I thought the nurse friend was absolutely atrocious when it came to acting, and pretty much the same thing with the beard guy. Like they really took me out of the movie at times with how poor their performances were. Um, so that's my biggest negative, I think. But really, there's some character issues I have as well, and conveniences. There's a lot of conveniences. I mean, there's tools laying around everywhere that they need.
You pretty much hit my big one right there.
Yeah, the tools, the conveniences, or
How convenient.
yeah, dude. Like they have the little meat cutter. Like nobody brings a meat cutter to the cabin in the woods for the weekend, like with the thing. And then they also had nail guns everywhere, like just random ass tools they had access to. Of course, that one's kind of more of a nitpick, but like the freaking okay, the witch people come out there, they freaking burn the girl at the stake at the beginning of the movie, and they leave the damn book down there. Instead, like they know what the book's capable of, and they just said, "Well, we'll just leave it here for somebody else to pick it up." False. Okay, you pick that bitch up and you bring it with you. You keep it safe. Like somebody else is going to gain access to it. You don't just leave it down there and put a little garbage bag around it. Like that's no deterrence to anybody. If anything, it makes it more appealing for somebody to pick it up and read what's in there.
Yeah, like an Eric character.
Exactly. Yeah, and you got the freaking they leave a shotgun down there, which is pretty convenient, I thought. Again, you get a weird ass possessed scene like in the first one with the vines, like it's kind of the same thing. And I know that's a callback to the original, but it was again, it was weird here again. The acting, yes, we went there. Character wise, you get like nobody believes Mia what's going on. She's like, yeah, there's some weird shit going on, and you can tell that she's scared, she's afraid. Which yes, she's withdrawing, but these aren't really symptoms of a withdrawal. They're symptoms of freaking psychosis, and she needs some freaking assistance. Like, and then it comes out later in the movie that her mom went through mental health issues. So it's like, okay, I could easily see this running in the family. And you're obviously you're dealing with some kind of mental thing going on. Worst case, even if you don't believe the demons and stuff going on, like it's beyond withdrawals. Like I think somebody, especially like the nurse or the brother, would be like, okay, you're dealing with something more than withdrawals here. Let's get you some assistance, which eventually they did, but it took scolding herself in the shower in order for them to believe her. And I think that either the nurse or the brother would have caught on earlier saying, okay, maybe there's not demons out there, but you're definitely going through some kind of mental issue and you need some assistance. I think they would have figured it out before her burning herself in the shower and gotten her, out of there. At least try to sooner. I mean, I know it might have not have been feasible with the river and the rain and all that, but I think it took an awful lot for them to start believing her that shit was going on. So that was a little bit much. Overall, like I said, the acting overall was not very good, but I think Jane Levy did the best job. I didn't really like the character of David that much, and he was kind of the main character for most of the movie. So I wasn't a huge fan of him. I did kind of like Mia. I would have liked to see them reverse the roles of Mia and David throughout the movie, where she's kind of the main character, and she's like, and maybe David gets possessed, and she's the one kind of fighting people off. They did that a little bit towards the end after she gets freaking buried and zapped back. But it was.
Oh my gosh, that one.
Yeah, it was over like that. Like it was, and that was a cool part. You got the rain and stuff, all that I liked. But I think she could have carried the movie better than David did. I would have liked to see them reverse roles, and she's the protagonist throughout the movie. And David is the guy. Maybe he gets possessed, and then pretty much an extension of the last act where she's fighting off the boss there at the end. I would have liked to see an extension of that to be the main part of the movie, and she is the protagonist that carries the plot along. I think that would have been cool to see. I think it would have made the movie better Because while her acting wasn't as good in this movie as it was in like Don't Breathe, for instance, she was still the best actor in the movie, I thought. So it would have been cool to see her be the protagonist and be the main good person that you're rooting for. I would have liked it better that way. I think that would have made the movie better.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Just like earlier, like the acting wasn't great, which I didn't focus on too much because, like, again, with remakes, that's usually kind of like a main problem with remakes is the acting is not as to the quality as the original. But with it, and as you touched on it too, some of the how convenient stuff with the whole that battery thing to bring Mia back alive after her brother buried her and like took her back up from the grave to revive her. There
Yeah.
is absolutely no way that you can bring anyone back to life with that contraption.
Well, that was a weird contraption. Electricity in general will bring somebody back, but I don't know. Like, I don't know why you have to stab him in the freaking chest with it. Yeah, it was a little weird.
Yeah, and well, I also like the main thing I just didn't like about it. You touched on it too. Is that I would have loved to have the Mia and David roles be reversed, where David's the one possessed and Mia is not. Because I'm with you, Mia is really the only character that I really truly cared about and want her to live. Olivia, I didn't care for. David, I really didn't honestly care for, and Eric, he was funny and entertaining, but again, I want a dark, serious tone movie. Even though you got for like dark tone movies, you gotta have like a little bit of moments where kind of like like kind of lighten you up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and Eric was that character. However, didn't really care for him much. So I wanted Mia to be like the star of the show. However, she was a deadite the entire time. So it struggled throughout most of the movie to focus on characters I didn't care about, while the one I was caring about was possessed. And so that last act of the movie is where it got back rolling again.
Yeah, she was good. I think she was very good overall. Like, again, her acting was a little hokey at times. Overall, I think she would have been a better protagonist for the movie. I think it would have served the movie better if she were the main character and she were her actual self throughout the runtime of the flick. I think that would have been good. And also kind of going on that same level, the convenience with the characters and everything. Like you get, of course, one friend is a nurse who knows how to give the same level of care that she would get at a hospital, and the other one's a high school teacher or whatever he was who would be interested in reading books from the basement wrapped in skin. So that I mean that's a little bit of a convenience, but it's not a big deal. I just thought of that while you're talking. So,
Yeah,
but I mean that's
and what I talked about was the Mia and like her not really like her psyche a little bit, and how like you don't think it's like really believable, like for the characters, and how the characters should have got her help immediately.
yeah.
Yeah, how I could defend on that a little bit. Just they referenced in the movie Olivia did that Mia has faked a lot of her like breakdowns and her like moments like, hey, I got to get out here. Like I promise I'll do this. Blah 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 blah. And I think they established that she is a liar and she is not committed to getting better. And so I defeated Mia on that part.
I think she was way beyond lying at the point before. Like, I mean, she was a totally off the chains mentally. I thought, but that's just the way I kind of looked at it. I mean, I could see that, your point of view as well. But to me, I was like, she's obviously dealing some kind of mental distress and she needs help. And I think a nurse of all people or somebody that knows her like her brother would be able to see that. But that's just me. That's the way I kind of saw it. But
Mhm.
I mean, that's pretty much it for me, negative wise. I mean, overall, I had a good time with the movie. I mean, I don't have to. I mean, it was definitely a good remake, one of the better remakes out there. I know not the hugest, the biggest fan of it, but overall, I thought it was a good remake, and it served the story pretty well. I thought it was pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is actually one of the best remakes I've ever seen in the horror genre.
I agree. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the better remakes. I mean, they definitely at least put some effort into it, I thought. So that
Yeah,
was
and when you had
nice.
the producers, Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell as producers of this movie, just to make sure that Alvarez is taking care of the movie, that also helps it too.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely put some effort. It wasn't just a cash grab. I mean, I can say that. I think they could have had some better actors and characters in there. It would have made things better, for sure. But overall, I mean, like they definitely still had some effort and some heart into it that I like to see.
Yeah, and what did you think about the like the extra credit scenes after the movie was over?
Groovy.
It was cool. I mean, it wasn't really. It didn't at all. Putting Ash into this movie doesn't really cope for me because it's not at all the same tone. Like they just don't mash or mesh well together. So I mean, it was fine. It was all. I mean, obviously, it's always cool to see Bruce come back as Ash for a quick little cameo, but they at the same time, like this movie and the first three movies have no business being together. I don't think, just tone wise. So I mean, I don't know what their goal was with that, but yeah, it was cool to see, but it wasn't,
Yeah, like I'm with you. Like I feel like it wasn't needed. The only reason that they did it is just, for the hardcore Evil Dead fans and just to
Sure.
give them a little something. But again, with this movie, I feel like it was just directly aimed towards a brand new audience to get invested into the Evil Dead series.
I agree. Okay, so what kind of score would you give this thing, Bert?
What he calls me Bert. What I'm going to go ahead and give this score, I am going to give it a 4 out of 5.
All right, I like it, and I'm going to throw it out a 3.5 out of 5 stars, which I think that'll put us at 3.75 for our official Good Real Hunting score. That's it. I mean, overall, that means it's a good movie, and we dug it, and again, this is one that I like quite a bit, and 3.75 for me is not a bad thing at all. I really liked it. Had a good time with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so with that, what did you all think about the Evil Dead remake? Are you like us that you think it's one of the better remakes in the history of the horror genre? Or are you on the side that you didn't really enjoy it? So let us know in the comments section, and we would love to interact with you and talk to you about the Evil Dead remake of 2013. And Brad, where can they find us?
They can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, you name it. We are there, and we are jacked to see you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel if you love our content, and of course, ring that bell so you know when our content is available for viewing.
That is right. And once you subscribe, you can come with us to hunt for the good reels as we need the assistance sometimes. It'd be nice to have you guys along.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we appreciate you. This is our very first franchise reviews for a series, and we just had an absolute blast with it. So that will lead to our very last video within this review series, and that is going to be our ranking videos. So stay tuned so you get to see our rankings for the Evil Dead franchise.
That's right. And if you're new, again, check out these other videos here. There's one over there, one over here, probably at some point, maybe not now, but later, that will direct you to the reviews for Evil Dead 1981, and then
Dead 2.
And Evil Dead 2 and the Army of Darkness. Those are all going to be there, ladies and gents.
Absolutely. So with that in mind, we will see you all soon for the ranking of the Evil Dead franchise. See you guys later.
Be good.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Hasta la vista, baby.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.